Links down below in the description box to credit where I got the information from. And in case you want to read it on your own, warning, there's some pretty big spoilers pertaining to the post-game of Dragon's Dogma, New Game Plus, end of the game stuff. Okay, I don't know what this is. But I have to mention it because you could end up being upset. But at the same time, you could be upset if you didn't know about this information. It's one of those weird things. So let's get into it. And if you don't want to get into it, then out of here. Get out now. 3, 2, 1. Spoiler incoming. The end game is called the Unmoored World, where it takes place in the Unmoored World. And there's a chance that you can even miss it to begin with. So the secret to accessing the postgame comes in a form of the empowered Godsbane Blade. This crystallized form of the wills of previous Arisen is the key to ending the cycle of eternal return and will act as your key to the true ending. However, the game doesn't outwardly mention when to use it or even how exactly it is used, this blade. So when players arrive at the peak of Moonlight Tower, the dragon will appear and offer to carry you to your ultimate battleground. En route to said destination, when the dragon talks about your desire to end the cycle and describing what might await, is actually your signal to act. Clamber over to the dragon's chest and open your inventory. From there, find the empowered Godsbane Blade in your implements and use it. Then, once it's in your character's hand, press the button to use it on yourself. After a number of scenes, you'll find yourself in the Unmoored World. Well, what is this Unmoored World? It is a doomed world which will eventually succumb to red clouds that threaten to erase its very existence. In this world, bodies of water no longer exist and many new pathways are now accessible. Your goal is to guide all of the people of the world to the once submerged city in the center of the map and defeat every dragon found at the beam of red light before the world is fully and truly engulfed. Since there is a time limit to consider, many more settlements now sport port crystals and fairy stones are practically regurgitated by a lot of enemies in far more abundance. It's a race against the clock as you try to save the world before it has been completely enveloped by the red clouds. Do your best to save all you can and put an end to this eternal tale. If you get on a dragon, you grab a blade and you know what I'm saying? You off yourself. That's essentially, and how to do it. That's essentially how to get to the Unmoored World. The post-game. You see, if you don't do this, you're actually, allegedly, supposedly, from what I've read, you're just thrown into New Game Plus, and then you're screwed. Wait, what? You were trying to finish up some side content? Now you can because you got to start the game all over again. I don't want to have to start the game all over again. I really don't want to do that. So now there's a thing where it's kind of elaborated on in a different way, and I saved this on Reddit because I felt like it was a good comment, so I saved it. First time ever I saved something. It says, and I quote, "Once you get the Godsbane restored, and they tell you to give it to Phaesus, or however his name is spelled, or pronounced rather, it basically starts a long chain of events you can't come back from. You can still do side quests in the postgame, but the world is covered in a fog that creeps in slowly every couple of days. There are these beams, if you will, that have pretty difficult boss fights, but when you kill one of them, it halts the spread of the fog. So killing all 4 allows you to freely explore the post-game world with no time limit penalty. However, more spoilers, the northeastern... Okay. However, the northeastern first part of the area is gone forever. Sorry, that something happened there. And on top of that, you have 12 rest limits in the post game as well. But there are tons of workarounds for getting full hit points for you and your pawns. Wake stones and fairy stones drop like candy. Wake stone used to refresh your HP to max. And you can also change your vocation or use all heal potions to get your HP to max again too. For your pawns, you just have to get them to 0 health, throw them, don't revive them, and retrieve them from the rift. It's a bit complicated, and they don't really explain this in the game at all. Hence why I'm making this video. The last beam in the main hub will instantly take you to New Game Plus on completion. So you can hold off on it as long as you like. So to recap, actually we'll do that in a moment. Someone said, oh, so after those 14 days in game, we can start the New Game Plus, or rather force to New Game Plus to the beginning? In that case, I guess there's no harm in the true end then. But after the 14, you can't sleep again, and the map will become smaller, because I just said the northeastern part's gone, until you're forced into New Game Plus. Also, you can't use campfires, monsters almost throw up fairy stones and wake stones, and if you die, you go back to day 1, so never sleep. It's better to die and recover health with stones, and to summon pawns again if their max hit point is low. The game goes into hard mode. So essentially what I have gathered from all of this, from reading this, is that you get a blade, you commit suicide while you're on a dragon in the game to go to the Unmoor, kill 4 beam bosses, and then don't go to the last one because that throws into New Game Plus and then you'll want to cry. You can rest at an inn, campfire, and all that stuff about 14 times, but then afterwards it doesn't matter. Because if you die, use a wake stone, and if you don't want to die, use potions to keep yourself revived so that you can essentially, through a bit of a convoluted way, remain in the post-game where shit apparently is just a lot of fun. And I think that's what I'm going to end up wanting to do. But again, I did not know any of these things until I started Googling, like, oh, I don't know, New Game Plus, difficulty spike, all these kinds of things, because people are basically, they're very saddened, they're disheartened, as I am, that this is kind of like Starfield. The game gets incredibly monotonously, is that a word? Easy. Especially in the New Game Plus, people are like killing like mini bosses or whatever in like, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. They're one-shotting standard enemies. And the whole thing's becoming a joke, so it's like, well, then where's that dynamic difficulty that we were promised about? This is like nothing like Resident Evil 4. I bring up Resident Evil 4 because they did a much better job on that, and it's from the same developers. So this here may be a way to hang about in the post-game. And don't forget, you only got 1 save. So once it auto-saves and you're thrown into New Game Plus, there is no like coming back. But you can always, of course, back up your save, like if you're on PC. Or if you're on PS5, you can go to the cloud, you can upload your game. You can't really do that on Xbox. Well, you can, but it's much more convoluted, and I don't even want to get into pretending how to explain that. You'd have to go offline, do all this kind of weird shit. You'd have to back up your save, then go offline for a long time, then find out you didn't like your save, and then download from the cloud. It's complicated. Yeah, so I'm just kind of bothered by that. So I think I'm going to want to hang out in the post game, not New Game Plus, although there are some things in New Game Plus that are new. Not a lot of them. Something along the lines of, I don't even know. I think there's some new armor. A couple things like that. Nothing like, oh my god. And I think there's like potions or something weird that you can craft so that XP comes in quicker, or where your stamina doesn't get used as much. But I don't really want to say anything because I'm not too sure I know what I'm talking about. But there are like a few like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. And some nice stuff. So ultimately, my last statement is this. It appears like to get the most out of the game, you'd have to be in New Game Plus post-game. Does that make sense? Like, do New Game Plus. I'm personally not really looking forward to going through that again. I'm not even done the first game. I still got to go through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Suicide Squad and a bunch of other games that have come out in recent memory that I'm not even done yet. But if you can get to New Game Plus post-game in the Unmoor of New Game Plus, it seems like by then you'll have had a chance to like max out everything, grab the best armor, all this kind of crap. So yeah, hopefully this, yeah, it was a long video. I have a bad feeling. Oh, just under 10 minutes. Quick. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm, making me more relevant in search results. You didn't like it, thumbs down, I'll bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. You want to subscribe, great. If not, whatever. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. Maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Quick, we're almost at 10. Bye for now.